Hey soldiers, we usually do just one video on Fridays, but this had to come out today. This is just absolutely unbelievable. The kid gloves with which the government is handling Sam Bankman-Fried lends a lot of credence to what a lot of you have been saying about the chances of him actually being convicted being slim to none. Okay, at first I thought maybe the prosecutor was just giving him enough rope to, take care of himself, so to speak. You know what I'm talking about? But now this just looks totally alien to me. And look, if you've heard of this, or if you're an attorney and you know that this is, kind of par for the course, fine. Put that in the comments. Let me know, because I don't pretend to know everything. But what I'm seeing here with the Sam Bankman-Fried run up to the trial looks extremely unorthodox. It looks like they're giving this guy, it looks like the government is bending over backwards for Sam Bankman-Fried. And what I mean by that is, check this out. Now, we reported a while back about his bail conditions being examined because the judge, Lewis Kaplan, had came out and actually said to the prosecutor, why am I not being asked to remand him to jail? Because he went and did the thing where he contacted the potential witness. He was using the VPN. I know, to watch the Super Bowl. Okay, whatever. It was broadcast on regular TV, but fine. Okay. Somebody said in the comments, well, suppose he didn't have a TV. Well, he's got a cell phone, right? You can watch it through that medium. The Super Bowl is not something that is premium in terms of having to pay for it. That's something that's broadcast widely. Or he could have gone the old AM radio route and listened to it, like my grandfather used to listen to the Baltimore Orioles games, okay? There were 1,000 ways he could have done it without a VPN. We know what he was doing with that VPN. He was engaged in malfeasance, allegedly. In any event, so you had those things that would have landed us in a jail cell awaiting our trial, okay? Our bail would have been revoked, but not him. Now check this out. Sam Bankman-Fried has been given the opportunity to appoint two individuals who will be technology consultants that will help determine the appropriate bail restrictions in his criminal fraud case. And his team, they're the ones that are responsible for appointing or suggesting the names of these technology consultants. Now, ostensibly, I guess what they're saying is these technology consultants are going to say, oh, well, he can use this application, but he can't use that application, and he can do this with that. I've got a bail restriction for you that would take care of all this. It's called sending the sheriff to his mama's house, slapping some handcuffs on him, and carting his ass off to jail and have him sit there and await his trial. Because again, I don't believe that, I know for a fact, look, if I'm under these charges, no judge is giving me, hey, Tyrone, look, we're going to give you the chance to appoint some technology consultants, and they will suggest what level of interaction you can have with the internet and technology as we await your trial. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried was given a deadline of today, the 3rd of March, Friday, 3rd of March, to propose the names of at least a technical consultant to prevent him from violating more bail restrictions. Look, buddy, you went to, where did he go? MIT? He went to some high post school, right? If the judge says, don't do this, you are not mentally defective. You know how to understand that. Lawyers representing Sam Bankman-Fried on Wednesday submitted details on two people that will help U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan decide appropriate bail restrictions for him. Sam Bankman-Fried proposed Edward Strotz and Michael McGowan in the following. Strotz has worked as an FBI agent for over 15 years and managed a global digital forensics and computer investigation firm for nearly 2 decades. Michael McGowan is a digital forensics consultant. He has been a digital forensics consultant for more than 19 years. McGowan has led several high-profile cases, such as authenticating baseball player Alex Rodriguez's text messages on drug use and revealing a forged contract in a lawsuit filed against Mark Zuckerberg for half his Facebook shares. All right, well, I don't doubt these guys' credentials. All right, that's all well and good. But why is Sam Bankman-Fried being afforded what I see as luxuries? Somebody help me out. Is this par for the course? Does this happen in federal trials? Do you get this kind of deference from a judge? Judge Kaplan in February asked Sam Bankman-Fried to suggest a technical consultant that will help determine appropriate restrictions in his bail. The judge is asking this? Why don't the judge just say, listen, you can hire whoever you want to interpret my order. That's fine with me. But I'm going to tell you, I don't want you on the internet, or, I don't want you using Signal. All right. The judge, of course, has the wherewithal to consult with the U.S. attorney, and they can collaborate on what they are going to allow him to use. But to suggest to Sam Bankman-Fried that we're going to give you the authority to hire the experts seems insane to me. And again, I'm willing to be wrong on this. If you know that this is precedent, if there's a precedent for this, let me know. Now, you remember federal prosecutors have already alleged that Sam Bankman-Fried used encrypted messaging apps and a VPN to contact FTX employees and executives. These, of course, employees and executives are probably, some of which at least, are going to be called as witnesses in this trial. Prosecutors asked the court to extend his bail conditions due to fresh allegations. Moreover, the judge threatened to completely revoke SBF's bail conditions and send him to jail if he is not satisfied with the restrictions ahead of his trial in October. We shall see. And of course, we've talked about, pretty extensively the new charges that he's been hit with. Now, here's the other shoe to drop in this whole debacle. This shifty little rat was ordered to maintain records ahead of possible government action, on the FTX fallout, the collapse. He was ordered to do that and then went about doing the exact opposite, acting like, someone with something to hide. Once he was told to maintain messages and, retain rather messages, don't delete anything, he did just that. He started deleting lots of his messages. Sam Bankman-Fried, the billionaire effective altruist who turned out to be one of the biggest alleged crypto crooks of them all, did exactly what you'd expect him to do when told to preserve all records. He started deleting them. Now, again, this is according to prosecutors. In that updated indictment, they filed an update on yesterday, the 2nd of March. Prosecutors said that Bankman-Fried had deleted the post by the General Counsel of FTX US, who had instructed employees to keep records to assist any investigations. The episode took place in November. November was when this thing all started to come, to a head. According to prosecutors, who didn't specify a date in November, FTX filed for bankruptcy protection that month. Bankman-Fried disregarded the general counsel's directive at the time, prosecutors are alleging, saying he also deleted some of his tweets in November. Additionally, they said he continued to use the encrypted messaging app Signal, on which users can auto-delete messages. Prosecutors alleged that Bankman-Fried had a practice of talking to employees on Signal using auto-deleting messages, in part to prevent the preservation of evidence that could be used against him. This, again, is according to the document, the updated indictment, rather. So, we've got the government in the form of the courts doing some really interesting and, dare I say, suspicious things because, again, I always say it, we have a multi-tiered justice system. And the amount of justice you get depends on the amount of money you have. Now, I still think this guy's going to be convicted simply because the exposure is too great. That's why I keep talking about it, because I'm hearing you guys say that this has left the mainstream news media. No one's asking about where these politicians got their money from. You know, did they get it from Sam Bankman-Fried? And if so, how much have they given it back? You guys are telling me that nobody's asking these questions out there in the media. We are, all right? So as you can see, if you access and check out this report right here, we start to examine, and it's a 20-minute, video. Go ahead and watch it, because we start to examine what's going on with the political donations. He's been hit with a lot of charges. He's made, allegedly, hundreds of illegal contributions to politicians of all stripes. Joe Biden got $5 million, and who knows whether or not he's returned it yet, all right? So questions are not being asked by the media. And remember, this is the same media that put this guy on the cover of Fortune and said that he was the next Warren Buffett, all right? Also, he was on the cover of Forbes and, lauded like, oh, this is the next great thing, right? So they gave him an immense amount of credibility, and now they're not willing to ask the relevant questions with regard to what was going on with this whole scam. Now, guys, look, we do a lot of reporting on the global economy and how it affects you. I want you to take a look at this report that we just did. Blackstone, the private equity firm, they have defaulted on a multi-$100 million mortgage, all right? Credit Suisse, the bank out of the Swiss bank, they are literally begging people to deposit money in their bank because they're facing some really tough times, potential insolvency. These are canary in the coal mine events that have meaning for our personal economy. So you need to be educated on it. Watch those reports, guys. I will talk to you soon.